Hello, Fatima. So I will say good evening because in Vancouver it's good evening now, and now it's afternoon
Yes.
in New Zealand. Look,
Okay.
it's really great to catch up with you. You did the Child Voice program, our
Yeah.
pilot with in Vancouver, and
Mm-hmm.
we just happened to be chatting before we recorded, and you were telling me about what you learned from the Child Voice program. I'd love to hear how it was for you.
Thank you, Anik. Good afternoon to you for your time zone. Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I was doing the program, I was so excited to see all these options that we can incorporate in our daily life, even to make that our child to say something, to like make any choices in their own way, right? So that was the main thing, that I got a lot of information. And then definitely there were like lots of discussion from different moms who have different kids with different abilities, right? So it was really good discussion, I would say. And from the whole program so far, I think it's we finished in November, so this is like April. So far I used two techniques. I must want to mention those.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was like the partnership one, with the ladder that you shared with us
Mm-hmm.
during the
Mm-hmm.
program, that we can do with an agency. So for me, it was my son's school, where we work with like a reading program. So he will sit with us and then be engaged while we read a book with him. So that was the main goal, the long term goal. But the short term goals were broken down, and they were the steps for the letter, basically, for me and for the school as well. And we synced together in order to make it like a same goal for both places. And whoever reaches the goal, they will wait for the other like partner to come there, and then we advance to the next level. So it was
Mm-hmm.
more like that. So like for my son, it was in the beginning, it was like that he will sit with us, and then we are going to read this book, like the polka dot book, so that he can do some poking while sitting
Mm-hmm.
there. That will keep him seated for a while, hopefully. And then it was more like doing one action in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. So he will just do like seven sea horses swimming in the sea. So swimming, this movement.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first goal. And then we now build it up to like 5 minutes, where he will stay with us, and then just do all the actions we do. Sometimes he need a little bit prompt, but still he sits with us. He enjoys the whole thing now. So which is great. And the school also is doing the same with the SLP, and they are doing it in a group setup. Like for me at home, I'm doing one to one, but they are doing it in the group. But I would say that we are progressing in the pretty much same pace since last December, and we update the goal when both of us we are seeing that he is reaching that goal. So that was the other key point that I wanted to mention there.
Mm-hmm.
And
And so
yeah.
how do you how do you actually communicate with the school? So you at first you showed them the ladder and you said that
Mhm.
they enjoyed the idea of the partnership with
Yeah,
you.
so reading was always challenging for Ashat. He never wanted to sit quietly. So that was the main issue with story time or anything that we want to do with him. It's same in school and home. So they were also talking with me that, yeah, we observed that problem also. And then I said, like, let's do like a partnership thing in this, that we both work and we work for the same goal, and we do what he likes to do, because reading sometimes can be boring for him, right? Because he's very active, we picked up that, like, I believe it was the SLP's idea from the school
Mm-hmm.
team, that let's don't focus on like him pointing on the book or picture. Let's don't focus on that. Let's focus on that we will be very animate, and we will be animating when we were reading the book. Pardon my language. I mean, if I make a mistake
Mm,
in the words, it's more like we
yeah.
will do animation. When we are
Yes.
reading the book, we will change the voice and also animation, a lot of animation.
You use his
And
strengths. You use his strengths because
exactly, his strength.
he likes to be active. So you yes. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. And he was good at like kind of imitating us whenever we do anything. He loved the dances that the school does with him. So that's why we thought maybe let's start with the animation. We do actions for him while reading the book. And that was the first, I think that was the SLP's idea, but I loved it too because that is perfect with my son. And that way, I think it is now 5 minutes. Other than if we started with like point the cow or point the dog, I don't think that would work for him. Yeah, at least he's enjoying, and he now brings the book to me then that let's do that when the
Fantastic.
time. Yeah.
Well done. Well done for achieving the goal and for, choosing more goals and for the collaboration with the school. Well done, Fatima.
Thank you, Anik. And thanks for giving us the ideas and all these things there. So the other one, I just want to quickly mention that he is very minimal verbal. He has very minimal verbal ability. So we are trying to train him on the touch chat now. And with the touch chat, it was more like he was confused with the layout with lots of pictures in one layout, right? So what we did is like more like to make sure that he can make a choice from that layout. To make it easier for him to choose, we started with a simpler layout where he will have like say 4 or 2, even 2 words in one setup. For example, if dinner is chicken or shrimp, then I just had 2. I mean, it is very easy to edit. So you can get rid of those and then bring them, right? So like draw those 2 and then show him and then say chicken or shrimp. So he can, like he started to using that to make the choice actually. So that is
what is the device called that you're using?
So it's an like app. It is called Touch Chat. I'll write it in the chat box if you want. Yeah, Touch Chat is the app. Yeah.
It's a visual aid. It's a visual aid to help him point to certain things. Yes, I will. I would love to.
Yeah. So that one will be like that one was not. He was not looking into it even. He was not interested. But when he like learned that he can choose using that, he can make his choice. Boom. Now we have like a very complicated setup. We have like a 10 for his play. So he can request for slime.
It has more and more choices.
Exactly. So he can just now scan and make the right choice. So like that's
so tell me the secret. How did you get to the first step? Because the first step must have been the most difficult if you didn't want to look at it. So how did you actually make it the first time? Was it how was it?
Because we made it simple. I think that I got help from the agency. Again, I'm very grateful. So they told me that sometimes it is hard for them to scan. So let's do it. Let's make it simple. So tell me what you have for dinner usually. So have one backup so that he can have a choice. Like just don't have like roast chicken and bring him to the table. Just have one alternative, like maybe pasta or something. So I had shrimp. That's why I'm just talking about that a lot. So I had like just the salted shrimp, and then they said just put those 2, and because when you like press on that button, it will say chicken and it will say shrimp, right? So he was listening, and whenever he was pressing to the wrong one, I was giving him the wrong one, right? And he was not. Then he learned that he have to press the right one to get the right one.
That's amazing. So in a few months you moved complexity quite a bit. So now tell me about a really complex choice that he's making.
Right. So like right now what is going on is more like we play. There is like a play layout where he has all those slimes, squishy, and then bubbles, and then he has the trampoline and swing also. So all sorts of things, but he can pick those things according to his choice, what he wants to do that time. And the other one is like we have a wooden puzzle, which is like the shape sorter. So like I keep the shapes with me and he has the board. So he used the touch chat to request for the shapes that he wants. So we also do that at home. So the shapes and also the play. So these are the new things we are working on right now.
And how do you work out what's the next thing? Like once he's, well, but how do you work out what the next choice will be?
Yeah, the next choice will be for him to like press multiple words actually, like I want
Okay.
swing, or I want to like go outside. So it is more like we start with the first word first, and then it's like language also, like you go for the second word, like 2 word, you can move to the 2 word, and then you can move to the 3 word. But I think right now it's more like I want to build his vocabulary. So as many as 1 word he can get into his, like he can digest it and he can be comfortable with it. And then we can move to the next step, that he can say like maybe red circle to me, or I want red circle. That might be very end, but yeah. So that way, hopefully.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad that the child voice was put to good use and that it made a difference in your family.
Of course. Yeah, making the choice, I think it's their right also. And we have to find out a way that they can make choice. So that's important. I think we have to figure out how they will be able to make choice, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
that's
think
our
that is,
basically
yeah,
that's our
that was
challenge
like
as
really
parents.
helpful. Yes, that's our challenge, because we don't know, right? Right now my son, he can point and show me what food he wants, even I take him to the grocery. But previously he didn't know even, right, that he can point. So I think, and I never even asked him when we go out. I just put him a shoes and go outside. But from the child's voice, I think we learned that during dress up also we can put him some choice, that you want the boots or you want the shoes, and he can pick up, and then that way he knows. Yeah.
And did you find that because he has more choices, it's life is easier for him, or do you notice a change in him also because he's got more
His
choices?
behavior, yeah, of course. Like I think everybody at home, like they are looking into him and saying that he's more matured now. Previously it was like we gave him things and he have to eat, or like if he's not eating, he's not just not eating. But I think with choices, like even with like the pictures, if you put the pictures on your fridge, that you have what food he usually eat, right, from the fridge, he wants to request, and he can request it. That is better than him crying frustratedly, like if he's hungry, right? Before it was more like he will be crying, and then like we will give him some snack that we think he might like, right? But now he can just request for the snack he wants to. So I believe that is amazing.
Yeah, because when I ask parents of young children, what do you want? What do you want for your child in the future? And everyone says, I want my child to be happy. I want my child to have a good life. And a lot of the time, the good life is defined in the by the authorities like choice and control. But I think that it really starts really early because he has to learn really early to exercise his choice, because sometimes he'll make a bad choice and then he'll remember for next time. So I feel that choice is the precursor, comes before goals. It teaches you.
Exactly. Yeah. So like you said, that if you make a bad choice, you will remember it. So my son learned that way, right? If he was pressing shrimp, I was giving him shrimp and he didn't like it. He wanted the chicken. So he learned which one is the chicken that he have to press that. See?
Right.
Yeah. So
Thank you so much, Fatima. It's been awesome to
thank
catch up with
you.
you.
Thank you so much, Anik. Thank you.